All right, here we are again. Wow, this is always one of those interesting and bittersweet moments. Welcome everybody to the Virtual Design Master Season 3 Grand Finale. This is a particularly exciting event, of course, because we are going to crown our VDM 003. So our third consecutive Virtual Design Master. We're very excited about this event. It's been an incredible run all the way through. Melissa, what do you think? It's been a heck of a run, and here we are. We're 5 challenges later, and much more. How do you think it went?
I think it went really well. 5 challenges later, we still have 3 people standing, which is always great. You know, no one just threw up their hands at the end and walked away, which is a good thing. And we've just seen everybody progress and get better and better each week with their designs and try out new things. And I think everybody's probably learned a lot and grown a lot, even though they're probably a little mad at me for what I've made them do over the last several weeks.
Exactly. And of course, we have our usual crew here. Now, Angelo Luciani, unfortunately, is literally in the air, about to land, so we're not sure he's going to be able to join us live. If he does, hopefully he's going to jump on partway through. But of course, I am Eric Wright, one of the co-creators of the Virtual Design Master. Our creative director and in charge of all evil, of course, is Melissa. And we have our versatile judges here again. Timothy Patterson did some work for us to help to judge in the final challenge as well, but unfortunately Timothy couldn't join us live. He does send his best, and we will go through his comments when we get to that moment. So Brian Kirsch, of course, we've seen Brian's smile at lots of V-Mugs, hopefully, if you've had a chance to go out and meet him. And of course, Brian, welcome back. How's it been this season? Pretty exciting, eh?
Amazing designs. The level of detail and the creativity have been so dynamic. It's been a great season this year.
Excellent. And Byron, of course, a Virtual Design Master Season 2 veteran now here. You had a great design, a great competition throughout Season 2. You've been a huge supporter here again. You know, as soon as you completed Season 2, I remember you sent me a DM about 5 minutes after we made the announcement. You said, any help that you need, I'm in, and that's a testament to the kind of community that we've got. So welcome back. How did you think everything went?
Thanks. I thought it went great. It was a real hard choice this time around, and everyone put up a really good effort. There was a lot of detail, and the fact that this is all in 2 weeks about the whole life system is pretty incredible. It's a really nice job, guys.
And of course, we have our special judges today, and this is because it is an extra event. We have Josh Odgers and Renee Vandenbedum joining us today. So Renee, I'll let you introduce yourself. I know Josh is muted out temporarily, so we're going to ask you. Renee, welcome. Thank you again. You were such a great supporter through Season 2. You presented the grand prize in Season 2 and have been supporting and mentoring Timothy through his program. So tell us quickly about yourself and how has everything been going as you've been watching Season 3 unfold.
Yeah, no, thank you very much for having me on. It's been a pleasure this year as well. So I'm VCDX 133, so I work in Saudi Arabia as an enterprise architect and strategist, and I do a bit of blogging on the side here and there, and yeah, that's about it. So thanks for having me on.
I got to give a nod to VCDX133.com for someone who says they blog here and there. I'd say here and there you do excellent blogs on a nearly daily basis, if not multiple times a day, so good on you for all that. Thank you.
Well, not so much recently. I'm knee deep in my second VCDX submission at the moment, so my blog, I'm lucky to get 1 blog post out a month. But yeah, no, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Wow, there you go. That's it. It's like they always say, it's like buying your first McDonald's franchise, is you always immediately are planning your second. So
yeah.
And of course, Josh Odgers. Josh, you joined us in Season 2 as a judge, as a great supporter, and upon completion of that, you then immediately said, "Hey, I like what you did here. Let's do this again. I'm in to cover the grand prize." So, Josh, introduce yourself. Tell the crowd about the grand prize today.
Sure, thanks, Eric. Yeah, so I mean, last year was really good to see all the effort everyone put in. and great designs came out of that. And I thought that what better than to make a virtual design master, give them an opportunity to actually get mentoring and go for a VCDX. So basically, that's the prize today. That I'll cover the examination fees for VCDX, application and examination fees, as well as provide mentoring for the winner to hopefully, turn the VDM into a VCDX.
Excellent. We have 3 great participants today, and before we knew it, here we are at the moment of truth, and we're going to begin. So we went through some intense challenges, and the final challenge was to actually deploy a live cloud environment on baremetalcloud.com servers. So once again, the team at Bare Metal Cloud have been super supportive. Thanking them is something that I can't do enough. So we're going to talk to our final 3 here. We are going to go in no particular order. I'm literally going left to right on my Hangout window. So Abdullah, welcome back. This is your opportunity. I'll do the Angelo job here, and I'm gonna crank up 2 minutes, and that's because it is time for your final defense. So Abdullah, if you want to describe what it is that you put as far as design potential, and what's your defense for how you did your final challenge, and you can go now.
Okay, so for starters, deploying a cloud, a multi-tenant solution here in my country, it's a bit scarce. So I did it around twice, if I can remember, for customers within Lebanon and abroad. So the first thing came to mind was vCloud Director when I was doing the challenge, because this is the area that I have a little bit of experience in. So looking at the resources in the first that you sent us, it was 8 GB of memory, and I was pulling my hair actually, because I kept calculating the resources and it wouldn't fit up. So when we got the upgrades, I was enthusiastic because it was very good. The final setup that I had redone it on Saturday night, because I had a different scenario in my mind. But when I was trying to power on my workloads, I was always getting into the constraints of the servers. So I had to act like it's, for example, a Metro storage cluster, and I had to spread everything around the servers to get the best resiliency I could at that point.
Excellent. All right, look at that. You even came in under the 2 minutes. So thanks, Abdullah. That was, as you said, there's some interesting challenges in doing this in a live deployment. So we'll start with Brian, if you want to talk about your comments on Abdullah's design.
Excellent design. I love the detail you put into it. How many times did you redo the environment? You said you redid it again on Saturday. It sounded like you redid it about 3 times.
No, I did it twice. The first time I did it, and the second time was on Saturday. This is it. So I was. It was not a full overhaul of the whole environment. I had to tweak it a bit. So I had 2 ESXi hosts in each server. So I wanted to have a data center here and data center there, but the constraints were very much conservative, so I couldn't do anything. So I had to pull an ESXi from here and ESXi. I had an additional vCenter server, so I removed it from the setup, and I used a single vCenter server, and then I introduced the vSphere replication to cover up the gaps.
So that was the big change you made to fit it in the constraint.
Including the VSA, because I was using an NFS storage on each side, because I removed the NFS and then I placed the HP VSA and did the network RAID. So it was a bit fast, but I'm glad with it.
Very good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Byron, what comments do you have in looking at Abdullah's design?
Sure. I also thought it was a great design. Having installed BCD and all this stuff on one box before low memory, it's not easy. Can you explain why you went with the VSA? I was curious about that as opposed to just using regular data stores and then having some kind of either vSphere replication involved there. What benefit did you get by having the network RAID involved?
Can you repeat, please?
Sure. What was the benefit that you found by using network RAID with the VSA appliance?
It was the replication. It's not the replication actually, but it's protecting. I can have a single VSA that has the whole data store. So rather than replicating the data stores, I already have them through the technology replicated on each VSA. So I was lowering the complexity, but I did not want to lose the data availability. So I thought it would be the best scenario. But if it was up to me, if I had more resources and more storage, I would have used I would have cloned or used remote copies for the data stores that I have.
Okay. Second question. So with your VCNet setup with VXLAN, did you run into any complications there with the nested environment, or did you find that pretty straightforward to pull off?
In the nested, I didn't have any issues, but at the beginning, I had an issue with the physical servers because they had the real IP addresses, the ones that were facing the internet. So directly, I removed them so that I could work in a more rapid way. I couldn't get around them because they were not reachable from within the vCenter server nor the vShield. So I removed them, and I had to access the environment the other way around, which actually turned out to be very well in terms of managing.
Okay. Again, overall, great job.
Thank you very much.
Excellent. And Renee, what thoughts do you have on Abdullah's design, and how did you think it went?
Yeah, Abdullah, how you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How are you, Renee?
Cool, very good. So the guys, Brian and the two Brians have already asked the questions that I was going to ask. Let's talk about the sites that you selected, which I thought were interesting. What was the reasoning behind selecting Morocco and South Africa?
The first thing which came to my mind was connectivity. So I pulled up a map that has the fiber optics cabling in the sea. So I thought that I want to cover the whole region of Africa on both ends, and both countries were closest to the sea. So I can use the fiber optics underwater cabling. That's the main reason.
Yeah. No, I just found it interesting that it was the longest part of the African continent that you could have two sites on. You selected the longest. It was like 8,000 kilometers. So I thought that was interesting from a networking perspective and latency and whatnot. So I was wondering if that had any impact on your storage design.
Speaking in a normal way, of course it will have an impact. But considering that we're doing something extraordinary and we're low on resources, so we have to get things done with the equipment that we have and the resources that we have.
Yep, no problem. Nice job.
Thank you very much.
It was definitely really great work, Abdullah, and it's been great to watch your work throughout the event. So we're going to move on to Harsh next. Harsh, we're going to give you the same time frame if you want to talk about your design choices you made, and we're going to give you 2 minutes to kind of defend your decisions.
So hi. So initially when I started the challenge, I thought of using VMware's NSX and OpenStack, VMware integrated OpenStack. but due to lack of resources, uh, uh, I won't be able to do it. Although I uploaded all the appliances which are required to do it, and base was ESX6, then I have to read and complete thing, and I have to move to vSphere 5.5, and I've deployed VCSA again, and then vCloud Director above it. Uh, I was also thinking of building two different sites with vCloud Director and VSM and vSphere 5.5, and I was thinking of building a vCloud connector between both sites to do the resiliency of the workloads. But RAM is the biggest constraint here. I have got two nodes with 12 and 16 GB RAM, and underlying storage is also 250 GB and 500 GB. So this was I have to redo again. So I thought of for redoing the second site again, I used auto deploy like auto lab from lab guides, but it is also taking a lot of time, so I won't be able to finish the complete setup. But I did most of the stuff for one site.
Sorry, I've gone and muted myself there. Colby Atwell. Thank you very much, Harsh, and that's great. So again, we're going to sort of move along the panel, but we're going to go backwards this time because I know Renee, we got to you last. So Renee, do you want to talk about Harsh's design?
Yep, for sure. So Harsh, can you hear me? How you doing?
Yeah. Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I was looking through your design, and I get the feeling that you ran out of time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would imagine that you were doing a lot of things in your lab first, and then once you got your lab working, then you said, okay, let's take care of the documentation. That was the feeling that I got. I suppose my question is, if the constraint that you were talking about, which is the RAM limitations, if you had that constraint removed, how would you have changed your design?
So then I definitely would have been pushing VMware NSX and VMware Integrator and OpenStack, because vCloud Director is already end of life for customers, only available for service providers. So I really thought about implementing VMware Integrator and OpenStack above with NSX. Yeah.
One of the requirements through from the challenge was the ability to update and patch. I'm not sure how much patching would be done, because if there's zombies out, it's the end of the world and whatnot. You're not going to be having companies putting out new software. So I would have a feeling that you'd be running with the same version of software, you know. So if you had vCloud Director in a state, you're quite lucky.
But NSX, my feeling with OpenStack was like it is a project from NASA itself, so might be they have something researched upon to build some updates from ISS or somewhere else.
Yeah, for sure. Or you could be the star developer, maintaining OpenStack yourself in your lab from Mars. Who knows? Yeah. No, nice job. Thanks.
Excellent. So we're going to move on and go to Byron. So Byron, you want to talk about Harsh's design?
And I'm also muted as well. So the first thing I want to say is I don't think anyone has come as far in the level of quality of their designs and just really professional look than Harsh you have this year. It's from 1 to 5. It's been at really, really apparent. So great work there. I did have one question as far as, again, how you were going to address storage. Can you explain a little bit more of that? There's some, looks like some stretching going on in your design, at least in part of it. Can you explain how you were going to plan on doing the replication part?
So with vCloud Director, I was because it is already a product which is end of life for customers. So vCloud director updates won't be available, but like underlying infrastructure, we can use VMware's update manager to do the updates for ESXi, vCenter server appliance, and for Windows update, we need to definitely depend upon Windows Update Manager, WSOS.
Okay. Okay. Good. Overall, nice job.
Excellent. Okay, now Brian, do you want to talk about Harsh design and ask any questions?
Harsh, I loved your design. I also liked a little bit of the risk you took with the vCloud director and bringing it down from its normal memory amounts and that. Were you expecting to see stability issues there, bringing it down to, I think you had 2.5 gig, 2.5 or 3
Yes.
gigs? Were
Yes, it was around 3 gig.
issues or?
Yes, the challenge which I faced is like I was unable to get the web interface of vCloud Director. I struggled a lot upon that. I checked the skill connectivity, and I was like, till the end, I won't be able to fix that web-based issue. Like, I'm not able to access the port 5480 to do the configuration. It was really a challenge. And I didn't get the hold on vCloud Director appliance, which is much better in comparison to do the manual installation on CentOS. So that was a little bit problem area for me.
Okay, thank you. Great design. Great design.
Thank you.
Excellent. Again, congratulations, Harsh. We've watched a lot of growth throughout the competition. That's really been a key thing from all of the competitors. It's very interesting to watch it. So it's very, very cool. Congratulations on making it down to here. Next up, we have Stephen. So Stephen, in the customary manner, we are going to give you your 2 minutes. If you want to defend your design choices, and then our judges will ask you some questions. And you can go now.
Yeah, okay, hi. Yeah, so I mean, pretty much as the other two guys said, constraints left, right, and center. Yeah, pretty much everything I started off with had to be changed at some stage. But the main aim was basically to use the local storage and to move the resiliency up onto, let's say, onto the application layer. In the beginning, I was thinking of, let's say, some kind of a metro cluster solution, maybe a metro clustered VCD with 2 cells. But at the end, it was basically to get as much resources for the virtual ESXi hosts. So keeping the management layer as streamlined, as thin as possible. One vCenter, one vCloud Director appliance, and VSM. Try to keep it as low on resources as possible, and then just rely on basically stretching the application across the different sites.
Excellent. Well, I'm going to give a nod to all our fine competitors from last year, and Byron can tell you that we actually had additional larger size servers this year, so everybody got a bit of a bonus. You can only imagine what it was like doing it with less RAM and actually a single server. So we we kind of gave you a little bit of a bonus this year. But again, great design. So we're going to move from left to right this time. So Brian, you want to get things started and ask any questions from Stephen?
Well, I had a couple, but I'll take one. Single virtual center. One virtual center.
Yeah.
You know how that is. That's a no-no.
Yeah.
You explained some of it, but I need more. I need more. I need to know that the human race is going to survive. And I'm a little concerned with only one virtual center.
Yeah. I mean, as I tried to explain, putting extra vCenter onto the management layer takes, let's say, another 4 gigs of my really precious RAM at that stage. So if it's a choice between a vCenter or a virtual ESXi host, I take the virtual ESXi host. And with the vCenter, as I explained, you would be looking at your main things or your management domains, your load on your vCenter. I wasn't expecting at this stage, in the beginning, with this hardware, to have that much of a load in any case. First of all, I think the one vCenter would be able to handle much more load than the physical servers themselves would be able to handle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And yeah, it was pretty much it.
Okay. Okay. I'll leave it at that.
All right, Byron, what questions do you have for Stephen and comments about his design?
So the main question I have is kind of a question I had for all the folks, but I'll ask it to you. I should probably get some kind of disclaimer, but whatever, it's fine. Why'd you go with VMware products? And why did you not use open products or open source projects that have significantly less memory footprints? Because the memory overhead is high on these appliances.
Honestly, time constraint. If I had more than 2 weeks to learn these kind of things, I am experienced with VMware. I know VMware. If I had, let's say, more time to actually go through these other options, yes, I probably would have gone with that, or maybe not even, because I don't think I'd have be comfortable enough with them in 2 weeks to be able to try build up a actual live system. It was difficult enough with the products I knew. I think trying to put in some products that I didn't know, it would have been nightmare.
Sure. Also, I really like what you do with VCO at the end. I thought the workflow design was really nice. Can you explain a little bit of the reasoning behind that and how you found VCO to use?
Sorry, can you repeat the last part of that?
Sure. Just explain your process behind why you did that workflow in VCO and how it ended up working out for you.
Yeah, I mean, the point of the VCO there was, as I said in the design, I was looking at the orchestration point. For what we would have needed for this kind of a scenario, I felt that the vCloud was enough. To have the catalogs to be able to deploy it and that. The VCO was more for, let's say, a future scaling. When you get to a stage where you have to maybe put in some more orchestration, things like that, more functionality. VCO obviously plugs in nicely with the vCloud Director. Also, I have a bit of experience with the VCO, so it made it a little bit easier in that. And yeah, it was the V app, or the cloning of the app that I was thinking of, was more for, let's say, to be able to do a semi-auto deployment or semi-auto scaling model. That you could have a hot clone of a web server for every new drone that comes out or something like that.
Again, great job.
Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, and we're going to move on to Renee. So Renee, what are your thoughts, comments, and questions on Stephen's design?
Hi, Stephen. How you doing? Can you hear me?
Yeah, thanks, Renee. Good.
Yep, cool. So your documentation, I think you did a very nice job. Very well written. You did. You went through the site failure considerations, and I can see that you spent a lot of time thinking with that. So nice job there. Let's ask a slightly more technical design question. Can you just tell me about the VXLAN design considerations that you have to consider using VCNX?
Yeah, the VXLAN, again, one of my strong points is the networking, as you could see. The VXLAN from this point was another reason for choosing the vCloud Director. With the VXLAN being linked to your provider VDC, it gives you the ability to, let's say, stretch your VXLAN by stretching your PBDC. And that was kind of the main point behind it.
And what are some of the physical network requirements that you need for VXLAN and VCNS?
Yeah, I mean, I would have to have a look at that. I don't know it off my head.
Yep, no problem. And you being a resident of Africa, where would you have had your sites? B1 and Site A and Site B?
Definitely one in Cape Town. And yeah, the second one would have to be then, unfortunately, in Gauteng, Johannesburg. Start
In
from the south.
Johannesburg.
Start from the
Okay.
south and move our way north.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Nice job. Thanks.
Thank you.
Excellent. Well, this has been very cool. Now, of course, before we go any further, one of the things we want to do is, I know Melissa's got a couple of questions for everybody.
We're not going to reveal our winner just yet. We're going to make you guys sit there and sweat and talk a little bit more. So I was wondering, we'll go one by one. If you guys can kind of tell us a little bit about your experience on Virtual Design Master and what you've seen yourself gain the most from it.
Well, we're going to go left to right on this one, since that was the order we started in. So, Abdullah, what do you think?
I think it's a full throttle learning experience, both technical and from a design perspective. I was always learning new things. I was reading about stuff that I couldn't put my hands on because usually you find them in designs, but if you don't have the chance to implement this design, you don't actually tackle the technology. So I very much liked the fourth challenge. It was full of stuff that I had zero knowledge about. So I think this was my the favorite challenge of all, the fourth one, because it was very much challenging, and I had spent a lot of time reading and learning and implement and testing before choosing to write about the technology itself.
Excellent. That's a very, very good stuff. That's all of these concepts have been things that we've seen throughout. So thank you very much. Harsh,
Thank you.
how have things been? What's your experience here as a Virtual Design Master competitor?
Yeah, so first thing that I'm really excited, I was part of this really awesome season. And yes, it is true, as Abdullah said, that it is all time walking on the sword. I have to learn new things, and I have to bit a lot of out of my comfort zone all the time. I've been watching Twitter feeds, and I have to read all the blog posts, so understand the new technology that I can get my hands on to finish the challenge on time. And it's really nice to have all these kind of challenge to understand a lot new technologies. It's good, although.
Excellent. Yeah, it's the good thing is a learning experience for us as well. Watching everybody go through these challenges, and again, like I said, we lab this stuff out ourselves for the most part. So it's we've lived the challenge. I don't know that I've pulled it off in the time that Melissa would have given me to do this, and that you've done a great job, all of you. So she's a tough nut to crack when it comes to these things. Now we're going to then move on to Stephen. Stephen, tell us, what's it like to be a Virtual Design Master competitor here?
Yeah, well, I probably won't be complaining about any customer environments in the near future, and that given, that they'll probably all be 100 times better than what we've had to deal with, and that. Yeah, I think the main thing was just the kind of the let's say shake up. You get very used to living in a comfort zone. You work with vSphere, you do a little bit of automation and things like that. I mean, you read about the other tools and things like that. You try to keep yourself up to date, but you never actually have to put it into a design. You're never forced to actually implement it from start to finish, kind of thing. So you can gloss over a lot of the difficult parts. One thing I definitely found, was, yes, a lot of learning. Abdullah says challenge 4. I think for me it was challenge 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's something new to learn and things like that. Really tough, really fantastic though. Absolutely enjoyed every moment of it.
Excellent. And my quick comment on things, and I was a little surprised and a little sorely disappointed that I didn't see enough OpenStack this year. We had some early work on in Virtual Design Master Season 1. I know Jonathan Frappier took a run at some OpenStack early on. and went way outside the comfort zone. And I think that he learned a lot as a result of that. And Jonathan's a great guy, and he's done some really great stuff beyond what he took out of Virtual Design Master. And of course, he helped us out throughout season 2 as well. So it's interesting technologies. Like you said, every challenge is its own little thing. Melissa, what do you think?
I mean, Steven, I was so happy when he said, I know I'll never walk into a customer environment and kind of not be able to handle what they throw at me. And guys, I'm mean for a reason, because I want to teach you and I want you to learn. A little bit about me. I come from a traditional engineering background, so I studied electrical engineering for my bachelor's and master's degree. And the kind of theory they had in engineering school was, we're going to work you so hard that when you get out of here, nothing will ever be this hard again. And I found that true. In my career, I've been in a couple positions where I've had to do the trial by fire thing, and I've noticed that I've learned the best and the fastest where I've been put in a situation where I don't have any choice but to do and learn how to execute. So really what we try to do here is give you guys a chance to do that in an area like, architecture and design, where maybe you don't get to do it every day. Because how else are you going to get the opportunity to learn it and try it? So I apologize for my challenges. I know they weren't the nicest, and I know the last one was particularly nasty, but I'm really impressed with the work that I've seen from you three and all our competitors throughout the competition. So great job, everybody.
Thank you.
Amen to that. Amen to that. Now I'm going to go back to a Virtual Design Master survivor, a zombie fighter, Byron. So Byron, let's ask you. You've been through this process. What did it feel like before? Before you started Virtual Design Master Season 2, and as you got down to the final challenge, how did you feel? And kind of talk about your experiences since then and how it may have affected things.
I think at the beginning I was really excited. At the end I was very tired because we didn't get a lot of sleep. The amount of effort that it takes to do this is pretty extreme, and especially in your time frames you have, and you have to build the live environment as well. That's a whole another level of things. Again, I echo these guys with you learn so much because you just have to. Stuff comes up that's not your day job that you pick up, and you can parlay those skills into new things. Since then, I've gone on to use a lot of these tools and large environments and at the SP scale, and that's been a lot of fun. So I think you find once you get used to this stuff and now that you have these skills, you'll look for new fun ways to apply them, and possibly you grow outside of just doing it for fun, but actually start doing it for a job, and it's pretty rewarding overall, I'd say. Excellent.
It's again, we were very proud, and Byron, you did some really phenomenal work. It's very, very cool. And again, if you want to quickly talk about your prize, because we walked into the finale and you came out of the woodwork with something really, really cool. So if you want to talk about that, let's list the great time to give a little bit of teaser to tell folks what they're about to see that could come across their door.
Sure. So all 3 finalists will be getting a $500 credit for vCloud Air. You can contact me afterwards, and we'll get that all set up. Just get some email stuff, and we'll get that taken care of. But yeah, you'll have your own account to do whatever you want with, and full access to all of the products and services and offerings that we have. So just let me know afterwards, and we'll get that all set up for you guys.
Cool.
Excellent.
Nice. Thank you.
Now, I'm just going to quickly go through...
See, wasn't that worth it? Now you can go do a real environment in vCloud Air after I tortured you with your 2 little servers.
There you go. So we're going to quickly go. We've got, of course, our two finale judges here, and I want to take a moment to, of course, thank them and ask them, Renee, you went through this in season 2. What is it that you're looking for in a participant, in a competitor, in a VCDX, in a Virtual Design Master? What are some of the real key traits that you wanted to see come out of here today?
Yeah, so I think just the willingness to learn. Even when you win your VCDX, it just makes you realize just how much you don't know. And obviously VCDX focuses on the VMware technology stack. We've got the rest of the competition out there. So I know Nutanix are doing some amazing things with Acropolis. You've got Azure with Microsoft, so the Hyper-V stack. Amazon, there's just so much out there, you know. So it's just having that willingness to learn. Be willing to fail, because you will fail. You're not going to get it the first time. So these are the most important things, I think.
Absolutely. You know, there's two things. The classic quote, of course, from Mike Tyson is everybody's got a plan until you get punched in the face. We've seen those things. and be uncomfortable. And there's nothing wrong with doing that. So huge kudos to everybody for taking on things that they've never been exposed to before and doing great work with it. Now, lastly, I'm gonna ask Josh Odgers. So, Josh, what are your thoughts, you know, on being a VCDX, being an NPX, being a virtual design master? What kind of cool things do you look for, and what advice do you have for everybody here?
Yeah, look, I think you know, Renee really hit it on the head. You know, someone who's willing to learn, go outside their comfort zone, use different technologies, and not just focus on, you know, one thing, because no product, regardless of vendor, does everything. So a lot of the time, you know, as architects, we need to piece things together to actually get the customer outcome. So yeah, definitely working with different technologies, as well as justifying decisions. Obviously, any decision you make can be right or wrong, or somewhere in the middle, but being able to justify it's really important.
Exactly. You know, those are interesting things. Constraints are constraints, and you're going to expose yourself to different ones, but as long as you understand how you can explain it, that's phenomenal. Again, Josh, thank you. You know, of course, you're presenting our grand prize. Renee, you're also committing for our runner-up today. You know, everybody's been such a great supporter, and with that, it is time to make the final announcements. So we have our final three here, and Melissa, it's your turn to tell us it all. What is going to happen here?
So now, after all these weeks of torture, I get to reward each of you. So in third place, we have Harsh. And Harsh, you will be walking away with your $500 in vCloud Air credits to do all sorts of crazy things like VMware Integrated OpenStack. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. It's our pleasure. In second place, we have Abdullah. Abdullah, you'll be winning the $500 cash prize from Renee and $500 in vCloud Air credits to build whatever kind of zombie-proof infrastructure you would like.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it very much.
You're very welcome. And that means first place goes to Steven. Steven, you are Virtual Design Master 003. So you'll be receiving Josh Odgers' Expert Certification Bundle, so he'll be coaching you and paying for your fees through one of the higher level certifications like VCDX. You'll also be getting a Synology DS414 from Timothy, who's VDM 002. He says it's been instrumental in preparing for his VCDX, so he wanted to offer that to our winner. And you'll also be getting $500 of vCloud Air credits. Congratulations, Stephen.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, Gupta, Abdullah, it's been real, really. It has. I avoided looking at your designs in the beginning just to kind of, imagine that you're always chasing, and when I did finally look at the designs, I was glad I hadn't looked at them earlier on. They really, if there's a zombie, I'm coming looking for you guys.
and all of you will also be receiving VMUG Advantage.
Cool. Guys,
great. Thank you very much.
This is phenomenal. So again, thank you, everybody. This is the hard part. You know, we never want to have to choose one over the other. I think it was a very close race. We can tell you. It's unlike any other season we've had. So again, congratulations to everybody. We want to send a big thank you to all of our supporters. Everybody who's been helping us out through coordination, through our work here, out in the community. And this has been great. So again, we want to introduce the world to VDM 003. Stephen, congratulations, and take some time off. Relax.
No more torture.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Until you start studying for VCDX. Then it
Yeah.
starts all over
Yes.
again.
Yes, definitely. No, it's been awesome, absolutely awesome. I've enjoyed every moment of it, I think. Well, not every moment of it, but the majority of the moments of it.
Exactly. So we do want to send in also a special thanks to Jason Langer, of course, who gave a prize in the midst of this all. So Jason's always a great supporter, and so everybody in the community is. Brian was instrumental in getting the VMUG Advantage. So thank you to Brian personally, as well as to the VMUG team, for all the support that they give us in doing this. Brian, how did things look? When you talked to the VMUG folks, they were pretty keen on it. They've been great supporters.
They were excited to see it. We've seen it even done at a few VMUGs with the Brown Bags folks. It's a community group, and this is a community event. It is incredible to see. So we're happy to be a part, and a few VMUG advantages. Eval experience software, great way to start studying for exams.
There you go. So Renee, Josh, thank you again. Byron, thank you, everybody, to all the competitors, to Angelo, who could not join us, to Timothy, who could not join us, to Melissa, of course. Thank you, everybody. We started off to build a competition, and along the way, we somehow built a community. So I feel like looking out over a field of my children at a table here now. This is this is very great. So with all of our hearts, thank you very much from Virtual Design Master, and perhaps we'll see you next year.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for everything.
Thank you, everybody.